Tobacco is a risk factor to non-communicable diseases.
Back in East Africa, cigarette companies in Ethiopia are taking a hit after authorities in the capital, Addis Ababa, imposed a ban on smoking in public.
We have around 5% smoking prevalence. When you calculate this in terms of Ethiopian population, because Ethiopia is the second most populous country in Africa, and it could be a population of one small country. This is a triggering factor in order to think about having a very strong tobacco regulation.
Starting from 2015, when the government started the initiation of the bill, civil society provided support to the government. In particular, in 2016, when Japan Tobacco Enterprise bought the majority share in the National Tobacco Enterprise, the government's opinion about the tobacco industry somehow shifted. The acquisition by GTI in 2016 was the highest bid for the acquisition of public enterprises in Ethiopia.
So after privatization, they claim that they are creating jobs, they are huge taxpayers, and that there should not be any strong law. So they wanted to remain as a weak regulation, weak proclamation, because they know that we don't have a strong proclamation. Our legal framework arrangement is constitution, proclamation, regulation, and directive. So we had directives stronger than the proclamation, but this could not be implemented very well, enforced very well, because the proclamation is very weak.
That was a call for health officials and health advocates, and civil society organization ramped up support, and the government requested all kind of data to be provided, so it is able to encounter the industry interferences along the policy making lines.
We summarize information from the global context as well as the national level evidences, especially to counter the tobacco industry arguments in some occasion, and also to set baselines for our tobacco control intervention. And also we produce fact sheets, executive summaries, policy briefs based on research we have conducted.
That was a call-up for health advocates to come together and devise a strategy, and the government worked closely with civil society organization, both in the legislative drafting as well as the campaigning of tobacco control legislation making process.
The industry, including alcohol and the tobacco, they formed their own united front through Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce. And so while we're going through different ladders to the parliament, we have to convince FDA to have why we need strong tobacco law in Ethiopia.
The legislative process passed different stages. After the FDA, it will pass to the Ministry of Health, and after the Ministry of Health to the Ministry of Justice, then the Council of Ministers. So during that passage, we have been also very closely working with these government bodies. And as we progress in the campaign, our network also became wider and wider. We could meet additional people, additional advocates that helps us to meet some key government officials. So that was a very tremendous support for our campaign.
Now, the main challenges of making public health law, especially on the tobacco, is the engagement of tobacco industry during the process, and also they have a lobbying groups, and they use some tactics like farmers they present during the public hearing because legislating strong tobacco control will leave so many people out of job, like tobacco outgrower farmers. and also they related with the many challenges always tobacco industries are mentioning. When you have a strong tobacco control law, there will be a high market share of illicit trade. This was their major narratives and arguments, and they present these thoughts to the policymakers.
So the industry, even if its voice was reflected through ministries representing trade, investment, and the Ministry of Public Enterprise, finally the truth came out. Members of the Parliament and the Council of Ministers sees huge opportunity and immediate need for action to adopt strong legislation to protect the more than 50 million Ethiopian kids and the millions of adults who are using tobacco daily.
We have conducted public awareness and communication campaigns that bring the tobacco epidemic issue to the attention of the public. And then the public had started requesting the government to respond to this public issue. And then this media and communication campaign was also focused on the decision makers. What we did, we were following two strategies. The first strategy was building the capacity of the media so that they can make it a media agenda, and they can use their medias to raise the awareness of the public as well as the policymakers, which contributes greatly for the passing of the law within the time frame set. We started as when it started the media and communication work, the law making process was highly accelerated because the public has started influencing decision makers to make the law. The question was, we need a tobacco control law right now. This was the motto of the campaign.
ሞታ 12 ንዑስ አንቀጽ 1112 ህዝባር 2011 ሆኖ መጽደቁን የምትደግፉ? እሺ፣ አመሰግናለሁ። የምትቃወሙ? ተቃውሞ? ድምጽ የማሰጡ? የለም። የምግብና መድኃኒት አስተዳደር ረቂቅ አዋጅ ቁጥር 1112 ህዝባር 2011 ሆኖ በሙሉ ድምጽ ጸድቋል። ተከበሩ ወይዘሮ አበባን አመሰግናለሁ።
Electronic cigarette is completely banned, and pictorial health warning on the label on the package is all around 70%, and flavored tobacco is completely banned.
የትንባሆ ቁጥጥር አዋጅ ቁጥር 1112 ዝባር 2011 ስራ ላይ ከዋለ ጀምሮ አዲስ አበባን ከትንባሆ ጭስ ነፃ ለማድረግ እየተሰራ ነው።
The story of Ethiopia's strong tobacco control legislation is more than just a legislation. It's a story of unity in action between civil society organization and government. Government's genuine trust on civil society's role in the policy making process, as well as a testament that collaborative role between civil society organization and the government can work beyond tobacco control. It can be replicated well over the health sector. It can be it can be a cause for success, you know, a point to pursue how the government can strengthen its relationship with the civil society, in particular in the low and middle income country setting where resources can be limited from the government side, that there are huge roles that can be played by civil society organization and community organizations.